Hi and welcome to this episode of Resilient Voices. Today I'm sitting down and have a conversation with Jamila von Carnarp. She is from Germany, a background in business administration, but always had this creative part of herself. Now she calls herself a soul art and purpose mentor. She's doing lots of beautiful artwork with calligraphy and also very, very much into human design. And we're having this beautiful, beautiful conversation about resilience and how you listen to your inner calling and your purpose in life. So welcome to this episode. So hi everyone and welcome to a new episode of Resilient Voices. And with me today I have another yet inspiring woman named Jamila. Welcome to my little studio. It's not my studio, but welcome to the podcast Resilient Voices.
Thank you so much for having me today. It's an honor to be with you, and I'm curious to see what wants to evolve in that shared space of the two of us.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm really grateful that you wanted to come here. It was really a spur of the moment, wasn't it, when we met? And I said, oh my God, I think you need to join me on this without knowing much about you at all, but what you're creating. And that just sort of really somehow resonate with me. But we may come into that, I think. But why don't we just start with... what's your story, what's your background, and really maybe just spend a bit of time on that sort of moment that you want to share with us where you faced an obstacle, a difficult situation, a challenge that you overcame.
I might want to start with exactly what you were mentioning right now, because I feel this is the greatest difference that I'm experiencing in my life these days, to be guided by these moments, to be guided by presence, to be guided by also a higher force that may take our steps towards people, situations, opportunities that we could not make up in our minds.
Yeah.
So there's a good reason why we are together today sharing. And I feel this is exactly what had been missing in my life for most of my experience. That I could consciously tune in to the higher frequency of being me, of being Jamila in this lifetime, like with a certain skill set, with certain character traits, with a uniqueness that is just different from anyone else around me. And I have experienced a life of running and doubting, I would call it.
Yeah.
I have experienced a life that felt so exhausting, so heavy, so far away from this deep inner truth, this deep inner alignment and like lightness of being and being joyful, like allowing myself to be joyful and to act upon that.
Yeah.
Like as we did in that very moment, it just felt like, oh yeah, there's something opening up and fueling my whole system. So there must be something in this moment in this encounter for me. So yeah, what I am blessed to have learned through all my challenges is how much I actually can trust the aliveness in my being. And this seemed to be totally lost at some point in my life.
Yeah. Do you know when that happened or how long you've lived in this new state of being?
Like I would say this is beautiful how you call that, this new state of being, because yes, it's a choice. I would say it's available to me to really choose it over and over and over again, because I feel it's not once and then you're in it and it's going fine, but it's like training your muscles. It's like, really consciously choosing, this is how I want to experience my life. And this is what I want to be guided by, even if it scares me, even if I have no clue where it's going to take me. And so I would say it's quite alive since 2020. I have been entering that field of personal development quite some years earlier, and that had already like cracked open my experiencing of life. And at the same time, my surroundings, my partner, family, friends, the place I've been living in has still been so tight that it wasn't really easy to take these profound steps out of what I've been used to, who I was used to be and who others knew me to be.
Yeah, it's that box.
Yeah, absolutely. A cage.
Yeah.
Actually, it felt like a cage.
Yeah.
No, in hindsight, I can see the cage.
Yeah.
And most probably it felt like a cage all along. And that was also the heaviness on the shoulders, like this.
Yeah.
I cannot breathe here. I cannot like express myself here. I cannot like experience myself being heard and being seen through the others, through my mirrors, through the reflections. And I was missing that so much. I really felt like life doesn't make sense to me.
Wow, that's that moment when you came to that sort of realization. What happened with you then? Because it sounds like it's almost like it was like when you realized, because that's when you realized that that cage, there was something that kept you in, and that the life that you were leading were not the life who allowed you to be you.
Yes, and also not the life that I wanted to live any longer. Like I really had that feeling, if it would stay like this, I'd rather give up on it. Like on life itself. It seems like I cannot make something good out of life with the force I'm carrying it inside, and also with making space for my passion, for what was dear to me, what felt important to me. I could not see it reflected in my surroundings, so I felt like it must be me who's wrong. It must be me who's not managing to be good enough. It must be me who's not fitting in and who's not, managing to function. Most of my life I tried to function, but not really allowing myself to be human.
Yeah.
So I tried to follow the examples I had. And for me, one vital understanding was coming in that very moment when I got to know the human design, the understanding of energetics. Because then I could see that I was always, like all of my life, I was raised within a family with an energetic blueprint that is fundamentally different and opposite than mine.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not at all a surprise. I was trying to run after them and run into a direction that was never meant to be mine. So I could not find myself there, but I didn't realize, without having the connection to my inner guidance system, to trusting my inner voice. And I can really see today that as long as I try to find orientation, guidance, direction outside of me. I was choosing options for my life that would rather eat away my energy instead of creating or being the fuel for the motors, the engines, the driving forces that I naturally carry inside. That would lead to me being able to experience a thriving life.
Yeah. That's such a shift in energy when I hear you talk about this, because you start off talking about how you couldn't see yourself, you couldn't mirror yourself, and how you just felt lost in the environment that you were living in, and that you didn't have a role model, you didn't know where to go. And then once you start to connect with the human design, it's like, wow, I understand this now. And then I can just feel the shift in your energy when you're talking as well. It's very, very clear that that it was a big shift in your life. Yeah.
And it took me very long to allow this.
Yeah.
Also to allow that in so-called like publicly, like that this tool meant so much to me, because it brought, for the very first time in my life, it brought a deeper understanding, a deeper seeing, a deeper knowing, and a deeper remembrance of who I was all along, of who I am, and who I am allowed to be, to be guided by, that I most probably would have never found without such a clear, like, in your face mirror. Like, bam, this is just like my energetic imprint, what I am equipped with, what I am designed for, and it's just visible, made visible. And I had quite a hard time to start trusting that. Also start trusting a tool like human design, because I was like, it doesn't make any sense that just by a few data, like the time I was born and another point in time 3 months earlier, or 88 degrees earlier, these 2 points in time would like kind of forever make the, or how do you say that, create the source of what I'm made of. And what I am asked to align myself to again and again and again and again. And I was like doubting a lot, because doubt was one of the energies and the feelings I had carried in my system the most through all of my life.
Yeah. Because I can hear that the way you talked about how you were looking at the faults, that it was something wrong with you, how you didn't fit in. It was something that the problem, or was that there was a problem with you, and that's why you didn't fit in. There's something that you need to change. And when you talk about like shifting that and say, no, it's me. I'm perfect. I mean, whatever now perfect is, but I'm created in a way with an intention. And when you don't live that intention, then something happens. It creates a pain. And when you realize that, you have to open that cage, don't you?
It's so true. Yeah.
So how did you open the cage?
I would say I was blessed with a few moments of being able to connect so deeply to my inner voice without understanding it, and especially mentally understanding it. But having such a deep inner sense of, this is right for me now. It doesn't make sense to me and to others, especially not to my family and to my close ones.
Yeah.
But I feel it's right. And it scares me. And it's not how people would do it. And it doesn't create the response that I'm looking for. And now, like, looking back at that after so many years, I'm like, it makes sense that I'm not getting the response this part of me was looking for, that wanted to please, that wanted to be enough, that wanted to fit in.
Yeah.
But as long as I'm not meant to fit in where I am or how I am acting, I will never, ever get the response I'm actually looking for. But of course, I will get some confirmation of my doubts and my fears and this and that, because the field of doubt and fear is so strong still on planet Earth.
Oh, yeah.
And it's easy to tap into that and to fall into that trap of, oh, this is all we've got. But it's not true at all. Like, there's frequencies and vibrations and layers that are so much better, and you can just choose them.
Yeah.
But you need to choose them all over again and choose your trust into this frequency and vibration of trust, of being guided, being wanted, being enough, and being good. All over again.
Yeah.
All over again. In the face of every new challenge.
Yeah.
So coming back to your question, how I opened the cage for myself is, in this time, I really had to take all my courage to make some big moves, big decisions, big jumps in comparison to the life I had been living before. And really just trust that inner voice, trust that inner guidance. And actually, I also feel there was no choice. I didn't have any more space, any more energy, any more power to carry myself through the heaviness of life. So I needed to make a turn. Like I would have, I would have just been open to end this life, this lifetime, because I was like, I cannot make sense out of it. I cannot carry it. I cannot make it. It seems like I cannot make it.
Yeah.
So why am I here?
Yeah. I think that's exactly what you're describing. I think that's what happens so many times to people. I mean, that's a process that I would say, I include myself in that, because when you awaken to that there's something more, as soon as you've started to open that, when you get some glimpses to it, you feed that longing, you feed that curiosity, and eventually you just have to follow that, because otherwise, like you said as well, what's the option? Yeah, then it's too heavy to carry. Then I just cannot continue to live life on the planet Earth, because it's too much. It's too heavy burden to carry.
Yes, and it's hard to say that. Yeah. It feels also like kind of hard to admit that, because I myself always had I don't know where these voices actually come from. Maybe it's also more my inner opponent and not my I, like higher I, being in tune with myself. Now I lost the thread. Let me come back to what I wanted to say. It feels heavy to admit that I could not take the burden of this life anymore, because inside there was that part of me carrying the expectation of, but you must make it. You must prove yourself worthy. You must, like, at least be as good as the others. Like, keep up with them. Like, look around you. Everyone else, seemingly everyone else, is able to. And you are the only idiot not finding a way through life. The only one not smart enough, not strong enough, not good enough, not skilled enough, not this, nor that. But actually, like, I was such an intelligent child. I was such a smart being. I was such a sensitive being. I was so connected. Like, I could see so much. I could feel so much. I could sense so much. I could make sense of so many things. I was just not trained to acknowledge this goodness inside of me.
Yeah. But isn't that very common, though? That because that's not the norm, that's not the standard, talking about fitting into the mold, because that's something unusual. We don't, because we've forgotten about that. I mean, it's because it's natural in most of us, isn't it? The intuition, the ability to actually, because we're also, I mean, we're stardust, we are like divine beings. That's what I think anyway. That we have a different. I mean, we just live in a body, and maybe some of our listeners will react to this and sort of like, oh my God, what she's talking about. But this with, I mean, I don't understand how electricity works. I don't understand how the internet, I mean, how can I call someone? Like, and I don't really need to know, because I know that it works. And I think that's the same with the types of energy that we're talking about here as well. That, I mean, we can connect to different vibrations, frequencies. And I think that's why also we know, like when we met, that we knew that there's something here. Obviously, it was on an energetic level that we want to explore.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like what I am blessed to see and understand, meanwhile, through all my explorations, through all that I was able to learn, to look into, to open up to, is so much greater than one human being in a physical form could be.
Yeah.
And it's really carried by this energy of falling into trust, seeing the bigger picture, not needing to understand why or how, but really trust that we are divinely guided, because we are an expression of the divine frequency.
Yeah.
And we are perfectly made. We are not lacking anything. In our design, what we bring, what we carry, what we are defined with, what we are gifting the world with. Also the capacities of taking the world in, letting it in, mirroring it back, couldn't be more perfect. We are the perfect puzzle piece for the whole.
Yeah.
But we cannot fit in when we're trying to fit in with like masks or a whole, how would you call that? A whole...
It's like costume.
Costume of being someone else.
Yeah.
Like...
It's like the wrong size. It's the wrong shape. It's just the wrong mold.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When you came here to be Batman and you're wearing a Superman costume, you will never have the right fit.
Yeah.
It will just not be you. You will still be a hero, but you will have a hard time making the moves you are meant to make.
Yeah.
So the grand design which we are a part of is just like a perfect symphony each and every day. Yeah. But we as human beings, through the way we are perceiving the world and looking into the world through the things we have been taught, we are distracting ourselves from being who we're meant to be, with doubts and fears and television and whatsoever, and eating habits and all these kind of things that bring us away from the moment, the presence, the alignment, the really facing what is in front of me. What does life want to show me right now? What can I learn here? Who am I? Or what is my contribution in this very moment? Because if you were not there, the moment would also not happen. If you were not there, your gifts would be lost.
Yeah.
Like, we have to understand that we are needed to play our own role. We are needed to be the puzzle piece that we are, that would be missing in the whole when we don't make the inner work of understanding what we came here for and what we are equipped with. Yeah. And for me, it's really like the human design is not at all the holy grail, and at the same time, it's something like a tool that shows so easily what you are made of.
It's beautiful to have some sort of guidance in that exploration that helps you and supports you in the discovery of who you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was really, in this moment, it was it was saving me. It was saving my life. It was saving my life on such a deep level that I did not even know I was so ready to leave it. I was so ready to leave it because I couldn't love myself enough from what I've learned about myself to liberate that spark, that life force, that passion for life enough myself without this also kind of neutral mirror. And maybe that was even the best part of it, that what human design showed me was so neutral in its foundation, in what it shows. It's even not like when you create your chart, your birth chart, and you get the result, it's even not beautiful. And I am really I am a lover of visual beauty, of beautiful details. I am creating beauty. My name is the quality, like the translation of my name means beauty. So this is one of the most profound qualities for me. And when you get your human design chart, it's like, okay, it looks strange. It looks, I don't know, unfamiliar. It's not even visually beautiful. Okay, what is that? What does it want to tell? And I had loads of resistances. And when I first heard it, something deeply resonated. And I had a lot of judgment about it. Like, this cannot be true, because if that was true, how is that meant to be integrated in the world that I know?
Yeah. Because that was also then the realization that you had to change something.
Oh gosh, I had to profoundly change, like profoundly change. And I had to take care to make that possible, to create the space to be me, to create the space to really turn 180 degrees around and just no longer be who I used to be. Oh gosh, and that's, oof.
Scary.
That's scary, that's exhausting, that's a lot of uncomfortable conversations, that's turning your back towards things and people that you are used to, that I was used to for so many years, and that I found some kind of comfort in, but not the comfort of, oh, this is where I relax into and feel alive and feel just like there's nothing to do for me here and nothing to prove, but there's like, okay, at least I'm maybe the same kind of miserable as the people around me. in that frequency of complaint, of, but that's how it is, but you just have to endure it. Like these kind of like, oh, like even if I say that now, like it really like.
This is about the, I don't know where, but growing up with, it's like the Lutheranism, is that what it's called? You know, Martin Luther, because I'm from Sweden, with the whole Protestantic point of view. It's like it's hard work is a good thing. It should everything. Life is difficult. Just that's how it should be. Now we should not enjoy ourselves. It is.
And you're initially anyway coming as a sinner, so that means you've got to like make yourself worthy of anything good.
Yeah.
Like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. And I guess that's the greatest liberation, to step out of that field of, buying into that belief.
Yeah. Because it is a belief and it's a program.
Yes.
It is, because obviously we are all programmed in the society we grow up in.
Not to less. Yeah. Like I could really, like, meanwhile I can see that, like how densely all of my system was stuffed with all of these beliefs and patterns and conditionings and judgments and woof, like all this, like, really heavy and dense energies. And I'm still clearing and cleansing my system and liberating myself and going to the ocean dips each morning and really understanding and taking care of my system, getting as free as I can, care for it so that I really feel who I am, feel my guiding forces, that I really can act from there as much as possible, as powerful as possible, as quickly as possible, without like falling into the field of fear and doubt and like trapping myself back into a cage that could, give that idea of comfort. Yeah, you can rest here. But I want to rest in the peaceful inner knowing of I can stand in the fire. I can endure chaos around me because there's something stronger, something more reliable, something more truthful to me, because it clicks. It's really that inner guidance system where alignment is being felt. And this is where I'm acting from, where I'm coming from, where I'm creating from.
Yeah.
And this is the only thing, the only access I allow myself to use. And that doesn't mean I'm never gone wrong. Not at all. But I know where I come back to again and again and again.
Yeah.
Coming home. Coming home inside of my own being.
Yeah. It's beautiful. And what I hear you say, for me, you talk about resilience in a way that really involves trust and surrender. Is that what that it feels like that resonates with you too? Because that's really what I heard you were saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, if life showed me something for these past 5 years, definitely, and also the past 1 year, like especially 2024 was another rough, really rough, how would you call that, partner in demanding to let go of everything that is not serving and to come back to the frequency of trust, especially in these moments when nothing looks like on a superficial level that you should be trusting.
Yeah. And Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And now I think it's the perfect moment to invite the painting or that you brought with you, because I think that really resonates with what you're just saying. Do you want to show that and talk a bit about what you've written there? Because that's a piece of the artwork that you do.
Yes. So for today's podcast, I felt like bringing a golden writing, and it says, "The frequency of creation lives within you." It's a quote by Lincoln Jesse, and it very often happens to me, like the more I have cleared and cleansed my own channels, the more I'm able to just tune into hearing, delivering soul messages and creating my unique artworks out of them.
Yeah.
With the craft that has accompanied me actually all of my life already. Like the writing, calligraphy is my way of expressing.
Yeah.
Words are my way of expressing. And sometimes this wisdom is like in one sentence resonating so very deeply that it just like, it's a driving force as well. It just like ignites me to, oh, yes, I need to write that down. I'm going to create something out of that. And these words have been touching me so profoundly. And I want to remember them as much as I can, because this resembles this turning point that we are talking about. When you come back to trust that this is true, if this can be true for you, that the frequency of creation lives within you, then there must be an enormously good reason why you are here. It must also remind you of you are carrying the seed of life inside. And this seed, because you are alive, is still strong enough to grow and sprout and bear fruit at some point.
Yeah.
That the only thing you need to do is come back to the core, to your essence, to the center, and water this little seed.
Beautiful. But it takes courage to be in that space, in that, because you really, it is about really show yourself like it's raw, it's vulnerable, but so beautiful.
And in a way, it's very special what you say, because yes, it takes courage, and no, in a way, because I feel courage is being born out of these moments when you cannot take any longer what has been weighing you down.
Yeah.
And it's like as if the little seed, the little plant in this moment is breaking through the surface because it can no longer take the weight of what has been like not hiding it, but what is the word for this? What has been
weighing it down,
but also closing it off, you know, like building a layer on top. And is that moment where it seems like it has to happen. You have to break through. Like there's no other chance anymore, because the alternative would only be to, not choose life anymore.
Yeah.
But life is giving you the opportunities, the growth opportunities, and calling you to break through these old layers of shame, of fear, of guilt, of all these beliefs of not being good enough, not being enough at all. And it just calls you out, like, show up, come on, grow that little tiny bit more, and then you've got it. You're gonna see the light, and then you still might be a little plant, like vulnerable and soft, and one that needs to be taken care of and that needs to be protected.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But these moments of courage are usually the moments where, like in my experiencing at least, there was also no other option anymore.
Yeah.
And courage is basically you finding your power, you finding your belief, you finding your faith, your trust, no, there is another option, there is another way, there is another path for me. And I am meant to find it, I am meant to walk it, I am meant to open it up, because no one else can do it for me, because it hasn't been walked before.
Yeah.
As it is my path to go.
Absolutely.
So it's not a surprise that no one else can show me, but when I am ready to take that leap of faith.
Yeah.
This is where courage actually just naturally exists or comes alive, not because you are so courageous, but it's like the byproduct of you no longer saying yes to something misaligned.
Yeah.
But you are like really focusing, directing towards, and this is what I believe, this is what I trust, and this is what feels right to me. That's why I'm gonna take all my courage, my power, and invest it into this next step.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna see where it takes me.
And in the right suit.
And in the right suit.
Isn't it? And I think that's so beautifully said, because really, I mean, this is staying in this old paradigm, the old life. It comes to a point where you cannot bear that anymore. So that's when courage becomes your companion. That's when courage is leading you. And I think also it's your path to walk. It's your path to because no one else has walked it, because it's your path. But I think we can also be, and I think that's also one of the reasons why I want to with this podcast. It's just really also to be the leader, to show the ways that yes, it is possible to choose your path, and it may not always be easy, and it might be scary as fuck. But it doesn't mean that we cannot do it, because we're so much stronger and we have so much more power in us than we are. A lot of us do believe. And once you start to walk that path, just take that little step. That's when you realize that the frequency of creation lives within you, and you are that creation.
And the frequency of creation is a benevolent force. It works in your favor. It's always life-giving. It's never life-neglecting.
Yeah.
So it is something that you can rely upon, that it will create something more than there was before.
Yeah.
It will open up solutions, possibilities that you have never ever seen before, because you have not yet taken that step to see from that perspective.
Yeah.
And the frequency of creation lives within you as a remembrance of what is possible without. And it's just magnetizing each other. It's just like finding its way towards. And one more thought that was coming towards the quality of courage, I feel the moment you take that leap of faith, you take that next step that you for such a long time might already feel that you need to take it, and you have been too scared to do it. Courage is opening through you taking the step, and it is the quality that you will then need afterwards, after taking that step, to maintain yourself in staying there. Because this is, in my experience at least, the hardest part. The moment you have sprouted through this layer and look into the world for the first time differently, and then everything is like, oof, what's happening here?
Yeah.
And then it can
Close off.
happen so quickly that like the old way of living life tears apart or tears away the roots that you have been building when you are not using that courage to supporting yourself in keeping standing in the fire.
Yeah.
Because there you will need the strength and the courage and the power and the supporting system and the nervous system regulation tools and all the tools that you have been collecting on your path. Because there you need to make sure that you can ground again on that new level.
Yeah.
So yes, open up to the frequency of courage and then use it wisely to nurture this new version of yourself.
Profound. Wow. Sounds very easy.
Yes.
And I interpret your laugh like, no, it's not. So, and I think we can agree on that. And I think that everyone that's listening, you that's listening to us, know that as well. So, what would you then, your advice or your what? Because now you live a completely different life. I mean, than you used to do. You're no longer in your cage. You've let go of your. It's like you open up that, and you've used your courage to sprout, and just really, and I as I understand that you do it on a daily basis, more or less, to keep on working with actually staying on this level. But so, what is the first step? How do we do it? What would your what do you want to say to that person that needs to hear it today?
Such a beautiful question. The first thing coming to my mind from my own journey is get yourself a supportive system. Can be tools, can be people that inspire you, hold you, and remind you in the moments that you would want to fall back into old patterns. I feel what is needed, what was lacking prior, is that we really choose examples of the life we want to live, of how these people or these projects or these topics make us feel. So create for yourself an orientation of how do I actually want to feel on a daily basis? And who is embodying that for me? So find yourself a coach, a mentor, a teacher, a trainer, a good friend, a totally new person, whoever it is, in whom you will find embodied, not only on a mind level, but embodied the frequency that you want to call into your life. And then let yourself be inspired by them. do not try to be them. Let yourself be inspired by them while you are learning about who you are. Because this has been an important point for me, this being misguided or misaligned for most of my life hasn't happened to me because other people were not well-meaning towards me, were not wanting good for me, but they didn't know better.
Yeah.
And as long as I also didn't know any better who I was and what I needed, I couldn't teach them. So you need to know who you are. And this is, for me, for example, where the tool of human design comes in, because it can show you who you are meant to be, what's the potential you are carrying, and how is your nature supposed to feel? What are you equipped with? What are you made up of? What's your strengths? And what's your limits in a way? Because it's not for you. Create an understanding on who you are and then see what does that resemble, what does that teach you in what you are drawn towards.
Yeah.
Because you will not want to take just another step into another cage and try to be like person XYZ because they are seemingly living a liberated, wonderful, joyful, easy life. But you need to find your own way to live life on a frequency like that.
Yeah.
So get clear on what you are calling in, who is embodying that, who can like really be the guiding principle for you to remember that on a frequent basis. And I guess that's really one of the vital things. Like we really need to train these muscles because they are not strong yet.
Yeah.
But they will become strong the more you use them. And the more you can call in like an inner circle of people being where you want to be, the easier it will get because they are also drawing you into their like levels of normal, their standards of, yes, of course, like underneath that, I'm not going for anything.
No.
Sorry, no, this is my boundaries, my strong boundaries supporting me to be me. But like I want to encourage this discernment of don't try to be a different one than you are meant to be. But definitely like open your eyes and your heart and your whole system towards where is life happening in a way that is really like deep down inside of me reminding this goodness of life, this benevolence of life, the peacefulness of life, the ease of life. There's like, oh gosh, the abundance of life, the prosperity, the wealth, the health, the balance, like all these good qualities and frequencies, they are there. They are accessible also for you, for all of us. But we have to choose them.
Yeah.
And prior to that, we have to know that they are there. We can choose them. And we have to tap into these fields as much as we can.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much for the wisdom that you brought here today. Is there anything final you want to say? Some words of encouragement or just...
I want to thank you for this blessing of inviting me into your space of collecting the wisdom of the world and to make it accessible for those who are ready to receive it.
Yeah.
I feel honored to have been here with you and have been invited to share from the wisdom I could open up through living my life in the way I lived it, with all the heaviness that has been there, with all the lightness that I allow in more and more and more. And it's been a joy, especially as a projector being, to share from there, because this is my natural energy to see from a bird's eye's perspective, to understand systems, and to bring the guidance, the guiding principles that are alive within these understandings to be really taken, digested, and bring them to good use in your own life, day to day. And if there's one message that I wish people to hear, that I wish the world to hear, that I wish you to hear, every single being that is receptive for the frequency of life, to be reminded, then it is, may you know that you are inherently good. May you know that you are perfectly made. May you know that you are designed to be you. And this is not a mistake, but the greatest gift you can be for the collective, for this planet Earth you choose to live in. Bring your gifts, bring your blessings, bring them alive, live them, share them, shine your light, and trust that you are not a mistake. You are perfectly made. Life always guides you exactly to where you're meant to be. Take the opportunities life is offering to transform whatever has been weighing you down into the gold that you are carrying deep within all along. And may you allow this gold to bubble up, like really lightly come to the surface of your being. And may it enrich life on planet Earth for you and for me and all the beings that we touch.
Wow, thank you so much for that. And I don't know, what I normally do now on this part of the episode is to some sort of summarize the takeaways from this episode. And I think you did such a great summary. But I mean, just it has been a pleasure, and I'm sure that you that are listening to this will find that it's so much wisdom here shared today. And this would actually really being brave enough to connect to your inner being, to listen to that there's something else bubbling under the surface, and also that it can be quite scary to realize that you're actually engaged, and that your sharing of that experience and that journey, I mean, it is profound. And this with that the creativity, and there's something within all of us that needs to come out. So with that said, just allow your path to show itself. Just step into that wisdom and be brave enough to listen to it. And resilience, that is built through just keep on going, keep on listening, and also, I guess, a big belief of trust, of inner knowingness that life provides for you. And if you wear your Superman costume, if you're supposed to be Superman, then you're really on the right path. So with that said, just go home and, you might be home listening to this, but reflect on your journey, where you're at, and listen to that inner voice. And the frequency of creation lives within you and within all of us. So with that said, thank you for listening, and until next time, take care.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. I feel such a beautiful, I'm so full of love.
Oh, wonderful.
So thank you. I encourage you to subscribe to Resilient Voices and follow along on social media, where we'll be sharing updates, resources, and stories from our growing community of resilient women. And if you ever feel inspired or have a story to share, don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to hear from you. You can also use the hashtag Resilient Voices to connect with other listeners who are on their own journeys of transformation.